Hi Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and I want to welcome you tonight to my online virtual workshop. I'm excited about tonight. I've got some great things to show you. I've got lots of things to share. I got kind of little piles piled up here around my computer. So hopefully I'll remember everything. I actually wrote myself some notes, so that will help. And we're just going to go ahead and get started. So to begin with, I want to thank you for coming. I know that there are several people that are already on the Facebook app, because I saw that you were commenting and saying that you were here, and thanks for that. Let me know that you're here, and if you can hear me and you can see me, I would appreciate a little comment there too, just so I can make sure that everything's going all right. From what I can see from here, it looks like things are going okay, but you just never know. For those of you who are on my website, I want you to know that I will be checking over there, hopefully throughout the night, just to see if there's any messages or if you have any questions. And also, I am live on YouTube, and if you go ahead and comment in the comment section there, I can see it. And I will be able to comment. Now, I may not be able to type in a comment, but I will be able to answer any questions that you have. I just want to make sure that things look like they're working, and honest to gosh, it does look like that. I love when people put up there that they remembered to come. I'm with you. If I don't write things down, leave a note on my alarm on my phone to remind me, I sometimes forget. But the nice thing about these events is that they are taped, so that if you can't make it, you could certainly come to the taped version. So I'm just going to wait a second or two just to see if people can post up there that you are here. But while we're doing that, I do have a couple of pictures I like to share. I always like to share something about Red Lodge and where I live, and this just happens to be our latest visitors. These are a mama and a baby deer that are living in our neighborhood, and the poor mama has a bad foot, but she's had it for several years, and last year she actually raised twins in our neighborhood. This year she just has the one little one. But it's kind of fun to watch her. She's around here most of the time in the neighborhood eating and enjoying it. And it seems to me that although she has a bad leg, if she needs to run, she can, and she does. And that's awesome. So good. It sounds like most people can see and hear me fine. Pat Jordan, you got nothing. I need you to refresh your screen, which if you can't see me is not going to do you any good because you can't see or hear me. But hopefully you'll figure it out, Pat, and I hope I hear from you here shortly. So that is just a really cute little picture of our neighborhood friends this year. We have other neighborhood animals too. We do have a little tiny black bear that's been living around here, but not so much in my neighborhood. The deer are here, so. And then this next picture, this actually was taken this morning up on Red Lodge Mountain, which is the ski run. I know I show pictures in the wintertime. I have to show you this picture in the summertime because the mountain flowers this year are absolutely spectacular. And this picture it just blows my mind. But that really truly is what our ski area looks like for this time of year. And it's really too bad that there aren't more people that can get up there and enjoy that. We don't have, it's not open in the summer. I know that there's talk down the road years that we may have some mountain biking and other things up there. We do have a couple events. We have a Climb for Cancer in August. So we do have a couple events up there in the summer, but it's really too bad it's not open year round because the wildflowers are gorgeous. But even up over the mountain pass, in our backyard, we were up there last week, and I haven't seen them that beautiful in many years. So we must have had the perfect amount of temperatures the perfect amount of moisture this spring. So I am frantically trying to figure out where I am in my slides here, and I seem to have lost a few people. Oh, there we go. Okay, I know the flowers are gorgeous. So I am going to be kind of monitoring comments and questions as we're going. I do have a few things that I'm going to be asking, so I'll be looking for those. Oh, good. People on YouTube can hear me too. That's awesome. Fabulous. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next slide. I'm not even sure what I have coming up, but I did put them all together yesterday. So, oh, here, this is a card that I did. This is the first tutorial. And this uses my absolute favorite stamp set this week. I should say this month. This is the one that I've made the most. This one stayed out on my stamp table all month, and I've been making all kinds of cards. And you'll see tonight what I'm talking about. It's called Garden Bloom, and it's just a really fun set. But this was just a card showing a base card, a basic card, and then I stepped it up a bunch, stepped it up a little bit to show you some other options. So I'm going to go ahead and play that tutorial, and then I will monitor for questions.
You how I made these cards. This is actually, they're basically the same card, only this is just a little stepped up version of this card. So I'm going to show you quickly how I did this, and then I will have posted on my blog photos of this one and the measurements so that you can actually see exactly how I did that. So let's get started. To begin with, I used the stamp set Garden and Bloom. This happens to be one of my favorite stamps this month. I've used it a lot. And I also brought in the Saying You Made My Day from And Many More. So these are the two stamp sets that I used. And I'm just using the Whisper White cardstock from Stampin' Up! Is what I'm starting with. My card base is actually the thick Whisper White cardstock from Stampin' Up!, which is a great weight for a card base. It just gives it a little more oomph. And so this happens to be a photopolymer set. And I'm using Hello Honey, Mint Macaron, Blushing Bride, and Soft Suede. I came up with this combination of colors from the English Garden Designer Series paper, which I'm not using that with this stamp set right now, but that's the color combination that's in that paper. And I just love that paper, and I love that combination. So what I did is I came in with the flower base and the Hello Honey, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp these flowers down here. And you will see that on this particular stamp, it has this little arrow right here. That is just to tell you that that's how the stamp goes in that direction, to go up. And so when you're coming in with the second layer, because this is a two-step stamp set, so when you bring in that second stamp, that has an arrow on it too, and then I know how to line up my stamps really easily. Although you can see through these, and so they're very easy to see through to stamp. I'm going to get a piece of paper to put underneath here for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and place this paper right under here, and that's because I want to stamp off on this particular layer. So for the second layer, I'm going to go ahead and ink up my stamp, and I'm going to stamp it off on the side of my paper, and then bring it to my image, and it's easily lined up, and you can just see how you get two different shades of looks. Now, when you look at this one, you can see that it's not evenly stamped, and because that's the way the stamp is made. It's made to look like a watercolor, so it's not a perfectly solid stamp. And the other thing is you don't necessarily have to line them up perfectly with this, because it's watercolor, so you can go right out of the lines. And then I'm just going to come in with some Blushing Bride and a couple more of these little flowers. And then I'm going to add in, using the same color, only this time I just went ahead and went full strength Blushing Bride because I like the look of that color. And you still get the outline image. And fill that in. And then I'm going to come in with the Mint Macaron and some leaves. And then again with the Mint Macaron. And this time I am going to stamp it off and then stamp inside my leaves. But you can see where you can just keep layering and layering and layering and put lots of different images from this stamp set. Here I'm going to add some little leaves to my flowers, like that. And then come in with that second stamp in the Mint Macaron. And again, I'm going to stamp it off this time. I just like the shading that you get. And it's nice to be able to have a couple different shades with one color of ink pad, so your ink pads go a little bit farther. But there's just some quick basic stamping. I'm using the photopolymer stamps. And then what I did is I came in, so I can move those out of the way because I'm actually done with that part. What I did is I came in with the framelits called Hello You, and these are the framelits. You get hello, happy, thanks, and you, and I'm gonna go ahead and use the hello. And a piece of, let me grab the big shot here. And a piece of, I just have a scrap here of the soft suede cardstock. And my magnetic plate, the clear plate, I put down a piece of dryer sheet. And then I'm gonna lay that framelit on top of there. And you'll see what I mean about that dryer sheet. It really just helps when you are using the framelits to get all those little pieces out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that through the big shot. And then I can move all this out of the way. And you'll see when I take this off, the framelet's gonna pop right off, which is fabulous. It doesn't stick. But what that dryer sheet does though is I can go ahead and pull off the dryer sheet, I guess. And you can use this dryer sheet over and over and over again, several times. I'm just trying to be a little careful there so I don't rip my words. But once you see that, then you can just peel off your cardstock words. And for the most part, those little pieces on the inside stay, and they will just punch out easily. And then you've got your words. Very quick and easy way to get those. And then what I did is I just took my two-way glue pen, and I'm actually just going to, this is like a marker, and I'm just gonna add, it comes out blue, but it will dry clear. And I'm just going to add some adhesive onto those words. It's nice because you can just like draw on it like you're drawing with a marker. And then add those to my card front. And it just got a really, really quick, easy card. What I did on this one is I stamped my words on there. Could be any words you have. I actually trimmed down my first layer 1/4 of an inch, so it's actually 4 by 5 1/4, and then I layered it onto my card base with dimensionals, so it just gives it a little more oomph. And then last but not least, I've really gotten into lately is using the dazzling details, and it's just a fun, it just adds some glitter and pizzazz to those flowers. I hope you can see that. But really, I just kind of swirled it around. I'll show you how I did it. I just went in and just swirled it around the flowers kind of randomly, just to get some glitter on them. You will want this to dry. You want, after you put this glitter on here, it does take a little bit depending on how thick you put it on, but you do want to make sure it dries because otherwise you end up with glitter on your fingers and glitter prints. So this one is actually pretty close to being ready to mount onto a card. Last thing I did is I took this little, there's a little body for the bee in that stamp set, and I actually inked that up in the soft suede and just stamped that into the middle of my flowers, and it just makes a really quick, easy, fun card. So there you have it on the set. On the one that I brought up a little bit, I did everything exactly the same except behind those words. I just took some of our gold thread and just kind of put it into a circle pile and then added the words on top of it afterwards. And I did add the glitter, and then on the words I actually just cut my own little banner, trimmed this off and just put a piece.
Okay, well, I guess I cut you off there. So I just trimmed it off and cut a little banner is what I was going to say. So there you have it. There's the first card. And it was fun. And like I said, this happens to be my favorite set right now. And I am going to send, I'm going to send that card, this one here. You can see this is the one that I made. I'm going to send this to the first person who can type into the comments the name of the set and how many stamps are in it. And then I will mail you this card. So I will be monitoring those comments and watching to see who won. So if you have any questions about that card, please let me know. It actually is a very pretty simple, it's a simple card, and I personally love those two-step stamp sets. I always have, and I'm glad that Stampin' Up! Has come out with more of the two-step stamp sets. So with that card, there's the video. There's the samples. Now I think the next screen actually says what I've used. So I'm going to have to kind of hope that somebody's answered by now. But here is a listing of, oh no, here's some more samples. Okay, so these are just a few more samples using that same stamp set. What I love about these is that you see here, they didn't even use like the outline of the flower. You just go ahead and use the stamps that are in there, just the solid stamp. So you can use this set in so many ways. And I spent some time this week playing with this stamp set. I was taking a class online. So yes, I take classes online too, on watercoloring. And I was, there was a gal I was taking a class from, and she wanted us to practice some watercoloring techniques. And so I took that stamp set, and same stamp set. You'll see it's just the solid stamps, and then I added water to it just to make it bleed out a little bit. I used a brush on this, but I think next time, I've done this technique before, and I have one up on YouTube where you stamp the images and then just spritz it with water and they bleed out. This one I actually used a brush and kind of brushed it to make it look watercolory. How's that for a word? Watercolory. And then another one that I did, and I'm going to do some videos, so probably next month or sometime in the next few weeks, I will have some watercolor videos up. But this is another one I did in that watercolor class, and this was really fun and super easy. I think you guys would be shocked, but look, I coordinate with my shirt. It's lovely. Can you tell that I like Blackberry Bliss? But it was not hard to do. It looks like it was hard to do, but really, it really wasn't. So those are just two of the cards that I did yesterday in my class. That's my homework. Got my homework done. So I need to get back over to the page to see who won. I will come back after this next video, and I will tell you who's going to get that card. But I think the slide here actually shows. So these are the products that I used to make the card. The Garden in Bloom is the actual stamp set. You can count the stamps up if you can figure out which of these stamps is one stamp or two stamps or whatnot. The Hello Thinlit dies, I've been using those a lot lately. And actually another video that I'm doing tonight uses those too, and I think you're going to like that technique. English Garden Designer Series paper. I didn't use that in this particular project, but that's where I picked my colors from. And I just absolutely love this paper. In fact, this month's thank you card is made with that paper and the stamp set. Imagine that. Some coordinating cards or colors that I used with it. This is the gold metallic thread that I was talking about, where I just kind of put in a little circle and attached that. And then the Dazzling Details is another item that sometimes it's on my desk a lot and sometimes it's not. This week it happens to be on my desk a lot. And I've actually glittered almost everything I've done lately. And my sister came over the other day and she's like, "You're glittering everything." I know. I like it. And just the way it is. So there you have it. I have no idea. We went way far ahead. Okay, so the next one is, the next card is my actual thank you for this month. And I think you're going to like this. So I'm going to quickly show you. This uses the same set with that English Garden paper.
Hi Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I'm going to show you how I did this card. Now I do have a video on how I did the background paper. I'm going to quickly explain it, but I'll also link into this video so that you can actually watch the video of how I cut a whole pack of Designer Series paper and make 75 cards or 72 cards using a pack of Designer Series paper and 2 packs of the coordinating cardstock to go with it. So to begin with, I took a 12 by 12 sheet of of Designer Series paper from the English Garden Designer Series paper series. I cut it in 4-inch strips. And then I turn it on its side, and I take that 4 by 12 inch strip and I cut it to 5 1/4, which gives me a sheet that will, with a border on it, like on the card base here. And then I cut 2 inches off, and that's the part I flip. And then this little piece in the middle is just the scraps that are left over. I cut into 1/2-inch strips, and I add them in and make just different borders to go along the edge there. Now this makes all different kinds of cards with all the different kinds of Designer Series paper that you have. I'll show you a couple here. So you can just kind of see the different cards that you get. this is all using the same paper. They're actually already in cello envelopes, but so I hope the glare doesn't bother you. But you can see where, you know, the two different papers, one flipped and then the border. So there you have just a couple different ideas of what I did with them. And then I'm going to show you how I did my tag. So to begin with, I came in with a little piece of cardstock that's 2 inches by 3.5 inches and my scallop tag topper punch. Now because it's 2 inches, it fits nicely in that little gutter and you just stamp down and you've got your tag started. And then I can come in with a corner rounder. This is our Project Life Quarter Rounder. I love it. And just finish up that tag and make it just really quick and really fast and look good. So I'm coming in with soft suede and I'm going to stamp those words right in the middle of my tag. And then, oh, I guess I didn't have these attached to the blocks. And then I'm going to come in with some flower images. And now these little flowers, it does have a little arrow on it to show you which way is up so that it's easy to line up the second layer. But I've really found that you don't really have to line them up. Love it. It works fine without and just finish up because they are have that watercolor look. They don't necessarily have to line up perfectly. So I'm going to come in now. This time I'm going to use some Hello Honey. I don't think that was clean. Well, it is now. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that right into the inside of my flower. And then I'm going to come in with, I think this is Old Olive, and I think I'm going to stamp it off. I don't really want it quite that dark on, yeah, there we go. I want it stamped off. So really a quick, fast, easy tag. That's as fast as it comes. And then I took some of our new ribbon. This is the Hello Honey, and I need about 4 inches. It's our striped cotton ribbon. And this is just going to go right up to the top of that tag punch. I'm going to fold that over. And if I can find my white baker's twine, here it is. Cut a little bit of that off. And I am just going to tie this at the top here in a bow. Like that. Like that. And then, of course, I have been using a lot of dazzling details lately. I love this little glitter bottle. And with these flowers, it's really fun because you just have to kind of scribble some glue and glitter on there. You do want to wait for it to dry, otherwise you'll end up with glittered fingers. And then all I did was add that tag to the base of my card with a couple of dimensionals. So really quick and really easy, but cute. You could put this onto a gift bag or anything. Just makes a really fast, fun project. So this actually is my thank you this month. For anybody that places an order with me, I will be sending this out to you. So you'll get one in the mail. Who doesn't love Happy Mail? And if you haven't already done so, I will post the products I used and the measurements onto my website. There'll be a link in right there. And if you haven't done so, you may want to sign up for my newsletter where I send out. Okay, so that was the next video. That is my thank you card. I just wanted to show you, this is just some of them, the actual cards that I did for my thank yous. And so that's anybody that places an order in the month of July, it's kind of exciting because you'll get one of those cards in the mail. We do have a winner of the first card. Was Carolyn Steele. So Carolyn, if you will send me either through a message or an email your address, I will pop that in the mail to you tomorrow. And I did have a couple questions that I got asked about the last video. So I'm going to come back on screen. So Carolyn Steele, if you send me your address, I will make sure you get that card in the mail. Okay, Peggy asked if the dryer sheet was better than the wax paper, and yes. I have used both, and I just found the dryer sheets that I use, I always tell people get cheap ones, but you know, I went to our local Family Dollar and bought some dryer sheets to do that technique where you can pull off the die cut images, and it didn't work quite as well. So I use Costco brand, the Kirkland brand dryer sheets, and I just have a box here in my stamp room, and I just use the sheet over and over and over and over until it's full of little specks of paper, and then I get another one. But I will tell you, it does leave a residue on your cardstock. It does make it smell pretty. Just a little bit though. So I guess you could probably find a dryer sheet that
doesn't have so much scent to it if you're allergic to the scent. So yes, I like the dryer sheet better than the wax paper because the dryer sheet, the paper actually sticks to it. So you don't have little flecks all over it. Excuse me, although the wax paper it does work and it helps. Andrea asked if there is a rule of thumb for placing flowers on cards. I have to tell you, when I first read that question, my thought was, well, yeah, the rule of thumb would be you do things in 3s. And then I looked at my card and it made me laugh because I did things in 2s and 2s. So there really isn't a rule of thumb. I don't like to do things very uniform. I like if I were going to add more to this, I'd probably do another yellow one here and then do the rest pink. So I'd only have 3 yellows, maybe 2 grouped. So no, just play with it. And flowers just grow randomly. And I think the biggest thing is when you're stamping, if you're stamping your card and all of a sudden you find yourself hovering, can't decide where to stamp it, don't stamp it. That's just your head telling you probably have too much on there anyway. So if you're stamping and you're stamping several and all of a sudden you're stopped and you're kind of hovering on where should I stamp this one, it might be a good time to stop and do something different or use something different. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's what you're asking, Andrea. And if it's not, clarify your question a little better and I will answer it. So let's move on to my slides. I'm not sure where I am in my slide thing here, but we will figure it out. Okay, so that was that. That is a slide. I'm not sure why it's in there. Okay, here's the next video. And this is just kind of a fun one to show you how to do the inlay technique. I will tell you that right now we are getting a storm here in Red Lodge. So chances are you may hear some thunder or lightning. You won't hear the lightning, but you'll hear the thunder. And let's just hope that the internet connection stays good. So here's the next video.
Hi Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I'm going to show you how I did this card. I hope you can see that, but you'll see how my words are actually cut out and it all matches up with the flowers. It's actually a very easy technique to do, so let's get started. To begin with, I went ahead and I used the Garden and Bloom stamp set from Stampin' Up. This is actually my favorite one this month. I seem to be using it a lot, and you'll see other videos that I'll link into this video so that you can see them all using this stamp set. But I just love this. I love the 2-step stamping stamp sets, which this is, but I also love the watercolor look, and it's a very easy way to get that. So to begin with, I came in with my photopolymer stamps here, and I'm just going to go ahead and ink this up and stamp some flowers down on this cardstock. And then to do the second layer of that same flower, I'm going to go ahead and stamp off and then line these up, and it's easy to see right through these stamps where you're going to stamp it, but also remember that it's a watercolor look, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And then we'll come in and do some leaves. I'm going to put them this way this time. And again with I always do the outline first and then the insides, but I think you could probably do this either way, whatever you prefer.
Oh, that's funny.
Now the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with
I'm going to start this over.
With the Blushing Bride.
You probably
flower.
saw me looking really
goofy. And I actually want quite a few of these in here because I really want those words.
Okay. I was just reading things that people were saying. So hopefully you can see it now.
Hi Stampers, Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I'm going to show you how I did this card. I hope you can see that, but you'll see how my words are actually cut out and it all matches up with the flowers. It's actually a very easy technique to do, so let's get started. To begin with, I went ahead and I used the Garden and Bloom stamp set from Stampin' Up. This is actually my favorite one this month. I seem to be using it a lot, and you'll see other videos that I'll link into this video so that you can see them all using this stamp set. But I just love this. I love the 2-step stamping stamp sets, which this is, but I also love the watercolor look, and it's a very easy way to get that. So to begin with, I came in with my photopolymer stamps here, And I'm just gonna go ahead and ink this up and stamp some flowers down on this cardstock. And then to do the second layer of that same flower, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp off and then line these up. And it's easy to see right through these stamps where you're gonna stamp it, but also remember that it's a watercolor look, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And then we'll come in and do some leaves. This way this time. And again with the, I always do the outline first and then the insides, but I think you could probably do this either way, whatever you prefer. Now the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with, clean that block off a little bit, with the Blushing Bride flower. And I actually want quite a few of these in here because I really want those words. Whoops. Nice thing about photopolymer is when you mess it up, you can restamp it right over the top. So I'm just going to fill in here so that when I go ahead and cut my word image out, I get good coverage and have lots of different images coming through on those words. And then I'm coming back in with the Blushing Bride. And then I'm coming in with some leaves. Ah! Okay, well that would be the wrong color. So don't let that happen to you. Looks like I pushed it into Hello Honey instead of Mint Macaron. Once I got those, I'm going to come in and do my inside leaves. And again, you can go full strength or you can actually stamp them twice and get a couple bits of dimension right into those leaves. Once I've got that done, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my Big Shot and my platform. Got all my stuff here. And I like to use a dryer sheet. As you can see, this is a dryer sheet that has been used before, and you can just use them over and over and over. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to lay this down, cardstock down over that dryer sheet, and then I'm going to lay the words down exactly where I want to cut them out. I guess I'll do that. And then come in with the top plate there. Cut them out. Now, when you're going to go ahead and take this out of here, the one thing you want to do is you want to save all your little pieces because you're going to piece those back in to your project. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the top piece of cardstock off. Oh, this didn't cut very well. That's right. I think we can still save it. So you want to be very gentle with that because this is your actual base, the piece of the cardstock that you'll need. You'll need all of these little pieces here. So I'm going to set those, punch those out and set them aside because we're going to piece those back in when we are done with this card. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then I'm going to pull off my word and hope that I'm gentle enough. It does stick to that dryer sheet just a little much, but it really works better than trying to poke them all out. Now, once you've done that, I used just some Stampin' Up! Chipboard, and I went ahead and I cut 2 more hellos out with the dryer sheet and the die on the chipboard. Okay, so I went ahead and cut out 2 more of those hellos with that chipboard, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the glue pen again, and I'm just going to add some adhesive right onto the cutout hello. And then I'm going to add this one right on top of, they'll go right on top of each other, and they line up perfectly because I've been cut it with a die cut, so that makes it easy. And once I've got them lined up, I'm just going to pinch them together. Make sure they adhere. And then I'm going to come in and do the same thing by adding adhesive with the glue pen. And then adding the piece of cardstock that I cut that was stamped right to the top of that. And again, because it's cut out with a die, it lines up perfectly. And then you get a little dimension to it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come in with a piece of cardstock. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a piece of mint macaron cardstock. And this one is going to get adhered right to this piece of cardstock. Now on this piece here where it kind of ripped a little, it's still going to be okay because I'm going to come in with that glue pen and I'm just going to go right around that hello, getting all those little tiny pieces with adhesive on them. Go all the way around it and then make sure that you get the inside pieces so they all adhere well to the cardstock. And then a little snail on the ends. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over, line it up, and then adhere that down. And you could actually do that and then just add these pieces back in, and that would be, you know, it would look really fun and really cool. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to fill this in, especially these big spots, because I'm going to come back in with those pieces and piece them back in. So I'm going to put adhesive on the back of that and then adhesive on the back of this. Try this glue pen works so great for this because you can get glue onto all those little swirly gigs on the hello. And then this is going to get placed right in back into the part that you cut out. And so you have a dimensionalized, because it's on chipboard, stands up a little bit from the cardstock. It gives it some dimension. And then these are easily pieced back in. And I just use a scissor to kind of push them back in to the spots that they came out of. And everything pieces right back in there. A tweezers works, or like I'm using the end of a scissor. And then this little tiny one, you just barely see it, is going to go right inside that O. That's probably the one, if you're going to lose one, that's going to be it. But there you have it. Then you have a dimensionalized little hello right onto your card with the stamped images all around. And I just love how it turned out. I did add glitter to this one. And you'll see I also added a couple of our sequins on there. That's because I actually had some ink spots from my hands. That there was a couple of spots up here. So I added some sequins and then I just added a few more just to jazz it up a little bit. And then my card base is actually Blushing Bride is my cardstock base and mint macaron. So there you have it, a very quick and easy way to jazz up that hello. And actually, you know, you're just using ink and paper. So,
okay, so I'm really embarrassed now because you guys were stuck watching me while I was trying to figure out what I was doing on this end, and it took everything I had to control myself when I realized what was happening. I know I put the pen in my mouth. I don't know what else I did. Somebody said I had really good facial expressions. I can only imagine. I am trying to read from various places to make sure I'm doing everything right. But yeah, a lot of people thought I was showing the exact same videos the first time, which wouldn't surprise me. I've been known to do that. But it was just a little different video using the same supplies as I did in the first one. But I just made that card so that you can see the dimension on that. Hello. I love the inlay look, and it's really trendy right now to do inlay. This is actually, somebody asked if it was chipboard. It is chipboard. It's in the catalog, but you could use cereal boxes for that matter. You're just running flamelets through your Big Shot, so you can just use whatever you have. You can use pieces of cardstock. This is chipboard, so it was just a little bit thicker. I used 2 layers and then the regular cardstock, but it's just enough of a little dimension. And I did add the sequins, and the reason I did was because I did have a few ink spots, but I love them. And all of a sudden, I've taken this liking to sequins like this week too. And sequins have been around forever. And all of a sudden now I like them. So I know I'm weird. I do have this card that I will send to somebody. And this one you have to be able to tell me the 3 colors of ink that I used in this card. And I mentioned it several times in the video. I may not have mentioned them all, but I mentioned them all at the beginning. But if you go ahead and type that into the comments, the first person to get all 3 colors correct, there's only 3 colors. Well, there's 4. You don't have to worry about the brown. I want this color, and this color right there. I almost said them. And I'm really sorry about that mix up with the video. Sorry you had to watch the look on my face as I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. I'm hoping I could edit that out, but I don't know how. So everybody will get to see that. Okay, so the next slide. Oh, can't show that one. That says, I keep showing the slide. Okay, so there is the hello. You can see how it's dimensionalized. This is kind of a blown up picture. I'm going to assume by now somebody has figured out the color combination. These are the products I used. I changed them up just a little bit. Actually, it was coaster board. I said chipboard, but it's actually called coaster board. Gosh, I hope I'm showing those slides. Yeah, I am. Okay, now I'm panicked that I'm going to keep showing myself. So that was the coaster board that I used, and then I added in the sequins, which were just kind of fun. And actually, like I said, it was a mistake on my part to get some fingerprints on there. And again, the Dazzling Diamond. So the 3 colors that I used were Blushing Bride, Mint Macaron, and Hello Honey. So hopefully somebody has posted that, and I will check with the next video. One of the things I want to let you know also is afterwards, these slides will be available on my Facebook page right below where the video is. The video will be, you'll be able to rewatch it, but I'll also have the slides down below. So if you just want to click through the slides and watch the videos or see the supplies I used. And then all of these links happen just to be clickable, that you can just click them and it takes you right to my online store. But yeah, oh, this is one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight. So last night, I found some time just to come in my stamp room. I actually came in here to clean. And the box of my Watercolor Wishes kit was here on the table. And instead of cleaning, I decided to put them together. And it just took me, I don't know, maybe an hour to do all 20 cards. These are the cards that I did, and I've actually got them here behind me on a board. So I want to show them to you because I think they're beautiful. I think this is a fabulous kit. It is available as of July 1st. It became available. This is the board here. And you can just see, I made all of these last night. And really, they're really fun. They're really easy. It's really super simple. And they all have, not all of them, but they have these little sequins. They're my favorite. They're like pearls. They're like pearlized and a light blue and a white. I love them. And I'm hoping that in our holiday catalog that's coming up, we'll have sequins that look exactly like that because they're fabulous. I would have loved them for my cards that I did where I put sequins on. Anyway, it was really quick. It was really easy. It was fast. It's available now. But Stampin' Up! Did say yesterday that it is, what did we sell? They had 13-week supply, they thought, and we sold it in 2 weeks. So they've doubled they've brought in a bunch of orders, but they won't be here. It hasn't gone on back order yet, but it will soon. But fun kit, a really fun kit to play with. Okay, I got to keep watching the clock because I don't want to run over too far. Weekly deals this week are great. there is the Pretty Petals Designer Series paper, which I actually had some cards earlier show or that I did using that pretty paper. I love the gift box punch board. So there's some fun stuff in the weekly deals. I do have a little quick video. Yeah, we're going to show this one just to show you how to use the gift box punch board. And this is one of the weekly deals this week.
Hi everybody, check out these little cuties. I made these boxes in just a second using our gift box punch board. Let me show you how quick and easy they come together. This is our gift box punch board, and I want to tell you a couple things about it. First of all, we have these 2 sizing charts, and we have sizes here for 15 different size boxes. And one's in inches and one's in centimeters. So no matter where you're at in the world, you're going to be able to make these cute boxes. Now if you'll notice, this will tell you what the box size is here, and then it tells you what size to cut your paper to, and then it gives you a start line and a diagonal line. The start line is located here, so here's your extra large, your large, your medium, or small, and then your diagonal line is over here. Here's your small, medium, large, extra large. This is your horizontal line right here, and this is all going to make more sense when I actually go to make the box for you. A couple more things I want to show you. There's this really handy extender tool right here, the score extender, and here is your scoring blade, and it's stored right inside the punch board like that. So today we're going to make this box, this size box here, and I've already pre-cut my pink pirouette paper down to the 10 by 10, just like my size chart has told me to. And then we're going to work from the extra large start line and the medium diagonal line. So you're going to take your paper and you're going to line it up with this ruler here until you get to your extra large. Then you're going to take your scoring tool and you're going to work with these 2 little sections right here. So just line that up. And then you're going to drag that down. Make sure you press pretty hard to get a good score line. Then you're going to do the same thing this way. And it's okay to go back over it if you don't quite get it as deep as you want. And then remember, we're working with the medium diagonal line. So then you're going to take your medium, you're going to just go down to that score line like that. And then before we turn our paper, we're going to punch it. Okay, then you're just going to turn it 90 degrees and do it again from your extra large line here. Put it vertically, and then do your medium diagonally. And then make sure you punch it, and you're going to do that all the way around until you end up with this. Now your next step is you need to cut out these extra little parts right here. So you're just going to line that up on the tool. I like to use my score lines right here and the little helper guide things here to kind of just center it. And then you're going to just finish punching out the rest of those spots. And this is going to make it so you can actually fold the box and assemble it. Now, if you're ever thinking, gosh, I don't know if I did this right, there's a handy dandy little final result chart here. And then you can just compare your paper to that chart and make sure that everything's correct. Once you've got it all scored and punched out, you're going to flip the tool over and you're going to do the reverse punch. And I found the easiest way to make sure I'm getting this lined up is I just use this edge here and slide my paper in that way. And that's going to create the little clasp that's going to hold the box shut. And now it's time to assemble. So you're going to fold on all your score lines, and then you're going to fold. You can do one of 2 things. You can fold your tabs in if you want a finished look like that, or you can fold your tabs out if you want a more takeout box look. Whichever way you decide, you're going to want to use a little adhesive, and I found that the Fast Fuse works the best. Just fold all those in. So like I mentioned, Fast Fuse works the easiest. So you're just going to put a little bit of adhesive on your edges here. Your inside one is actually going to hold your flap in place. So when you put your treat or your gift inside the box, the flaps aren't in the way. On the outside, it's actually going to hold your flaps together. Once you get all of your adhesive on there, then you're just going to press it together. And And you might find that like glue or sticky strip works easiest for you, whichever adhesive method you prefer. And then you're just going to put these little tabs together to hold. Well, put your treat inside and then put these little tabs together. And that's it. That's how easy it is to make these boxes using our gift box punch board. These boxes would be awesome for party favors, special occasions, or anytime you need a cute box for a fun gift. Be sure to contact your demo.
Okay, so that's the gift box punch board. Oh, here's the cards that I wanted to show that used that Pretty Petals paper that is on the weekly deals this week. So this is a whole set of cards that I did, and you can see kind of the same technique that I used in my thank yous for this month, only just used different papers, different stamps for the labels and stuff on here. So this is the Pretty Petal papers that's on sale. That is a mouthful. I don't know what the next slide is. Let's see where we are. Oh, more. So actually, you get 12 different sheets. So there's a whole bunch of that paper. And you can see the different looks that you get. That's one of the things I love about our designer series papers with the double looks. I do have a video up on YouTube. My face is still a little red from being embarrassed about being on screen and not realizing it. I did have a couple of questions that, but I got so flustered I forgot to answer. Carolyn asked if she could use a heat gun to dry that glitter on those cards that I made. Yeah, you sure could. A heat gun would hurry up the process of getting it dried. So that dazzling details, it's real liquidy, and it takes a little bit of time if you just set them out. So a heat gun would work fine. I am still trying to keep tabs on questions on the Facebook page. Hopefully I've got everybody's questions. I know we're getting close to the end of tonight, and I want to make sure that I do get all your questions answered. So if you have a question, pop it either on YouTube, my website, or on the Facebook app. You can just down in the comments, put it up there if you have some questions. I'm not sure what else I have for you tonight. I'm kind of looking around to see. Oh, I want to show the tutorial for this month. I actually have the cards. This is July's tutorial. If you haven't already seen, this is just a little section of each tutorial. It's using the Garden and Bloom in the English Garden Designer Series paper because I'm obsessed with it right now. And if you are a member of my virtual club, you get this tutorial once you've placed your order for the month. I send it automatically, and the virtual club is a $25 order for 6 months, and then you get $25 in free product after that 6 months. And the tutorial. Or if you're not in the virtual club and you just place a $40 order with me sometime throughout the month, this is the tutorial that you'll get. But I did want to show you quickly those actual cards. I'm just going to show them quick because I think they're really cool, and I designed them myself, and I was very excited about that. And of course, it uses that same stamp set. So this is the first one. It's just a fun, easy way to do a layered card. Let's see what we got next here. Oh, this one here. This is really different. This one uses, you can see it uses the tag topper punch. I just made a label on each side, and then I ran that ribbon. That's beautiful. I love this ribbon. The beautiful ribbon right through it, and attached it onto the card and added some butterflies. Just a really simple card, but it really packs a punch. This one is a pocket card. I've actually got this idea from Mary Fish, and it's kind of fun. It just makes a little pocket, and then this is actually a bookmark that slides right out and is a gift and a card all in one. And then the last card is one of my favorites. It looks fun with this paper, but this little bee down here actually is a clasp to hold that shut. That one opens that way, and that one opens that way, and that's the actual card. So just a fun fold card. Those are the tutorials that you'll get this month with a purchase in my store. So let's see where we are now. Anybody have any questions? I am going to pop back in to find out. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, who won? Good answer. Lynette, you asked who won the ink colors. You did. You did. Yeah, so I wrote that down. Lynette, I've got your address, so I will get that out to you. But you won the inlaid card. So congratulations. There was lots of people that guessed it. A lot of people said Pink Pirouette, which was close, but it was actually Blushing Bride. Any other questions? Jewel has enjoyed this. Yeah, well, thanks, Jewel. It's fun. I try to do it. I've been doing it once a month. I keep trying to think I'm going to do it twice a month, but boy, life gets crazy. This has been kind of a crazy time this summer for our family. So once a month for now, but in the fall, watch for it. I'm going to do one on a Thursday night and then one on probably a Saturday morning to catch those people that missed it on Thursday night. It would be a totally different workshop. What video do you have for the 72 cards? It is on my YouTube channel, Peggy. I will actually link it into the comment section of this one with the video to show how to do the 72 cards. I'm also going to link it into those YouTube videos, but I haven't placed them up on YouTube at this point. So I haven't got it linked in, but I will link it in. Yes, Joy, I will send you the tutorial. One of the things that I do for people that are in my downline, if you become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in my group, I automatically send you my tutorials. And I haven't, it's going out a little late. But Joy, I will get that out, hopefully tonight. If not, I'll just send you a link to you. So let's see where we are. Pull up my slides here. Okay, so this month, for the next 48 hours, I'm offering up, you're going to get a fabulous goodie bag from me if you place an order using this hostess code. If your order is over $150, don't use the hostess code. Go ahead and take the benefits for yourself. If you order by the 18th, in the next 48 hours, excuse me, using the hostess code, I'm going to send you a little goodie product bag with some fun stuff in it. Some of the fun accessories that I used in some of the videos tonight is what's coming your way. So I'm excited about that. I think you will be too. And let's see, down below, if your wish list is long, which a lot of people's are, you get, for $99 and free shipping, you can get $125 worth of product. I don't know why I said $124.50, but it's actually $125. And there is, you can click here to get more information. There's also an orange button down below, either on the Facebook app, the YouTube video, or my website. I put a button on all those. It's time for door prize drawing, and I think you're going to be excited. The door prize is kind of fun tonight. So go ahead and fill out the door prize drawing. I'm going to look around here at some of the other stuff. I'll show you what the door prize is. It is a packet. I don't really want to open it. Anyway, it's a packet of samples of all of our DS Designer Series paper. So they're 4x6 pack. It's pretty thick, of all the different kinds of Designer Series paper that we have in the new catalog. That's going out for the door prize tonight. I'm looking around to see what did I forget? Oh, another card. This is another one of my cards from my watercolor class. And here I did the inlay. So you can see where I used the framelit to cut out the hello right out of the watercolor paper, and then I inlaid it with the die cut. So just practicing. I was just practicing. I'm going to do some videos here shortly. How I do the door prize drawing is you click on the button, you fill out the door prize drawing. It's actually populating a spreadsheet on Google Drive. And then I pick a number beforehand. So tonight's number is 76. So whoever lands on number 76, they're the winner of the door prize drawing. And I don't have any idea who that is until I pop myself over there to that website and look. Oh, did I forget anything? Just want to make sure I got everybody's questions answered. Everybody, you're all welcome. I hope you learned something. It's a lot of fun. Shan said she placed an order at the beginning of the month but didn't receive the tutorial. It should have come to you in an email, but I will check and I will make sure that it gets to you. And that's only, Shan, if you ordered through me as a demonstrator. So if you didn't order through me, there's no way of me knowing if you placed an order or not. So hopefully, oh, I know what I want to show. I want to show how to do an order. Okay, so a lot of people ask me if I'm going to place an order, how how do I do the hostess code? So you go to the Stampin' Up website, which I believe I'm on now. Okay, so you go to the Stampin' Up website, and then you're in the store, and you place an order. So let's say I'm going to shop. I'm going to buy a Big Shot. Because doesn't everybody need one? And then I'm going to go to View Shopping Bag. Right here is where you put the hostess code. So you apply that code and then hit apply. And then it'll come up saying that your order is placed. It'll have my name by it. And then I'll know that you're part of the drawing or the gift bag. You'll know that you're in the right spot. That's how I do it. And what I do with the hostess code benefits is I take all the benefits of everybody that ordered, and I basically split them up. So if more people order, you're going to get more product in the mail free. It just depends on how many people order. Sometimes I send lots of stuff. Sometimes I send a little bit of a package, but it just depends. Everybody gets something fun and something exciting, and that way everybody benefits. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I am hoping. Yep, looks like everybody had a good time. Thanks for the tutorials. You're welcome. Sharon wants me to pick her, pick me. So does Elizabeth. It doesn't look like anybody has any more questions. So I'm going to pop over now and find out who won. Go through my list. Boy, it's really pouring right now. And the winner of the door prize drawing is Judy. Judy didn't leave me a last name, but I do have your email list, which is, it looks like judyll@hotmail.com. So if that's you, Judy, send me a message, send me an email on Facebook or a message, and I will get that card in the mail to you. I'm hoping that everybody got their questions answered, and if you didn't, I'm sorry. There's still a few more times. Where do you find the number for the door prize? Oh, where do I find the number? I just pick a number. Once you fill out your door prize drawing, it populates into a spreadsheet, and that's how I figure out who won. So Judy, I'm waiting to hear from you. I'm going to need Carolyn Steele to send me her address so that I can send her card. Other than that, I think we're done. I hope everybody had a good time. If you have other questions, feel free to contact me. You can always contact me through email or through Facebook, and I would be happy to answer your questions. So thanks, everybody, and I hope that you have a good night. Take care. Bye.